Ready? So with Mr. F, we're going to practice a little bit with some leave-its. He says, hold on, lady. So let's say, for example, you're going to have a few no-no items out on the floor. I would recommend to plant some items that are safe. So what I mean by that is even though you might be working with some items that are off limits, so socks or household items, make sure that if they're very small, like a choking hazard, we don't start there. So for example, for Mr. F, I have some recycling, so like a plastic bottle. I'm just gonna fix his beautiful ear. There we go, nice job. So we also have like a piece of plastic, another little goodie bag that is again just filled with some yucks, so nothing of food value, and then there's some paper tissues off in the distance. So if your babes are having a hard time with leave-its, it could be, as I mentioned earlier, with those take it and drop it exercises, they might start to think that letting go of something always equals the end of fun. So grabbing it and trying to consume it and grabbing it and trying to maybe swallow it whole could be their next step, or even resource guarding. So these are items that are going to always be off limits. So the way I like to start this off is I'll plant a few items out that we're going to practice with. We're going to go ahead and approach one of these items in just a moment. So with Mr. F, I'd go ahead and I'd start off away from the item. So he's on the opposite side of the item. I'm going to go ahead and bring him around the bend. Let's say he notices a leave it item. I'm going to go leave it. And if he doesn't respond, either do the positive interrupter or his name to regain his focus. So we are getting to the end of the day too. So Mr. F is most likely rather tired. So his abilities or his attention span might be even less than when he first started. Ready, Fritz? Yes. So I want to make sure that, again, if he's a little distracted by Ebba, she's decided to play with her stuffed animal dogs. So Mr. F is a little bit more intrigued. So right here, as we're passing by the items, if he completely ignores them, I might go yes and feed for the disengagement from the no-no items. So we want to be careful not to sound scary when we're doing leave-its. So there's many times where we're trying to really instill this concept that going near the item is bad or dangerous. And remember that your dog doesn't view it as the item is spooky, but that we all of a sudden become overwhelming, scary, or threatening. So you trying to intimidate the pup by mistake by saying leave it in a harsh tone may actually be creating the grabbing, swiping, and running that you were trying to avoid. So what we're going to do, and he's just very concerned because Ebba's throwing her toy for a second, is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to approach one of my no-no items, and then I'm going to see if I can go ahead and say the L word, which again, to leave it. So right here, leave it. And then I'm going to regain his attention and feed him for that. So if, let's say in the beginning, he doesn't quite know what a leave it is, I'm going to feed him for any time he disengages. So again, he's just interested in what Ebba's got going on the other side with her stuffed animal dog. And he's just getting a little distracted. That's okay, Ebba, no worries. So we'll go ahead, we'll work him past some of these leave-its again. If your babes, when you're practicing leave-its, are actually getting into contact with the leave-it, right here, leave it. And if there's no response, Fritz, ready? I'd add some distance. So when in doubt, add movement, which could be to get your puppy up and wiggling away from the item. Ready? So we'll try again. Nice little shake off. Ready, Fritz? Nice job. Great check-in, sir. Very pretty. Nice. So as we're practicing, if any of the items are too hard, I would keep my distance bigger between myself and the thing. So if, let's say, he doesn't seem to mind or he's more distracted by Ebba, I'm going to bring him, ready? Fritz, find it. I'm going to bring him off into the middle here and see if I can get him to approach one of the things far enough away where he can't reach it, but close enough where he notices the thing. So again, I might bring him off to the distance where the items are. He could be, again, a little bit more distracted with what Miss Ebba's up to. He's also doing some really nice little check-ins. Ready, Fritz? So we'll do a little sit and do a little check-in. He's like, hold on, my brain is melted. I'm getting really tired. So if at times your puppy, beautiful, is having a little bit of a hard time, remember how I mentioned sometimes lowering the criteria and making sure that when they go to practice, it's attainable skills. So sometimes you might have to, again, change up the way you're doing something or make it a little bit of a simpler version so their babe can even attain some of the smaller steps versus going right into the full behavior, which might be unattainable from when you're first starting. So nice job, Fritz. Ready? Ready with me? Fritz, let's go. Yes, find it. Good job. But Mr. F did quite well with these leave-its, disengaging from the distractions, which was splendid. He's just a little concerned with what Eb is doing off in the distance.